So peptides are body signaling molecules or short chain of amino acids. They're what causes interactions between cells. Some of them are neuropeptides getting released via neurons, for example, gonadotropin releasing hormone, growth hormone releasing hormone, and kisspeptin. These are some of them, and some of them get released by tissue interpretation of the local environment or your internal state. For example, insulin getting released when your blood glucose is high. I made a reel on that, so check it out on how insulin performs. Now, some are pituitary released as well, but more on that later. So they're used across bodybuilding, fitness, looks maxing, and medicine communities, each for their intended purposes and with a wildly different safety profile depending on the industry and the specific peptide. Now it can give you a range of benefits from nootropic type brain benefits to body protective compounds to growth hormone secretagogues or mitochondrial efficiency type peptides. These are some of the benefits that you can get from it. The range is too large to speak about one by one, so I'll just use an etc. So like anything in nature, peptides aren't all good or all bad. It is a category that breaks down into subcategories grouped by similar mechanisms or structure. For example, plant kingdom. In a plant kingdom exists a fruit tree, a medicinal herb, a nightshade plant, a poisonous plant. One can feed you, one can heal you, one can kill you. So category can't be defined by the narrative and duality of good or bad according to the human chauvinistic behavior of the intellect. So keep it separate and study peptides like it's supposed to. Don't fear the medical lingo and don't let narrative of other people dictate what it means. Just be literate enough, chase information, you'll know what it is. Yeah, so peptides is that kind of word, whatever. And loosely you split them by where they sit with the regulators, FDA approved versus not, but understand what that line actually means, because it is not a neutral world, my friend. It is a capitalist biased one. Companies research what they can profit from, what their investors can profit from, to be more exact. So cheap, unpatentable peptides, unpatentable because they might already be existing in your body. So cheap, unpatentable peptides don't get the trials because there's no money in proving it. And the data itself gets spent when money is on the line. And that is not a conspiracy theory, it's a documented fact. And I don't mean to degrade conspiracy theories at all. They definitely exist. You can read about them. When FBI released the subcategories of the conspiracy theories and in what kind they exist, but because that is the whole point of conspiracy theory, that it'll almost never be documented, so you'll never know what is going on, but it controls the world by... When I say that it is a documented fact, even though it sounds like a conspiracy theory, it is not. Industry-funded trials skew favorable to the sponsors and agree with their own results lesser, and that is a documented fact and measured as well. And when a stock depends on the outcome, the data gets massaged or outright faked to pump the stock. Companies and executives have been charged for exactly that, but they keep on going and going because greed and gluttony prevails. So approved versus not tells you who had the money to control the trials, not always what is safe and what is not. Even if it is a small percentage, we have to explore that area of small percentage because that is where the real, what is the word for Amrit in English? Potion, magic potion, potion of eternity lies. So what can we do about it? What we can do is study the mechanism, see the animal studies, see and read about the human anecdotes, collect empirical evidences, or listen to the medical professionals that collect it and keep them separate because they're not the same weight of evidence as the ones that passes all the trials and get FDA approved. That is true. But what we're doing here is navigating the gray market, so we bucket them. Honestly, by bucket them, I mean categorizing them into looks maxing, injury healing, body recomp, brain output, body output, longevity, or outright magical potions of nature to attain eternity. And peptides aren't new. Growth hormone, insulin, GLP-1, they already exist inside your bodies. Peptides is what make us, not the things that make us. But yeah, they're not new. And treating them as miracles, more miraculous than any other thing, is desyncing from the reality, and it is not right. Or running scared from the medical lingo that you hear, trying not to expand your understanding of what it is harming you as well.